Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bible Illustrated Hands. Uh, Today's episode is a bit out of schedule because I was asked this on my most recent video, and I thought I comment on it while it's still fresh. So, the Greek Orthodox Church has accepted the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, that is the church whose autocephaly was affirmed by the ecumenical patriarch, henceforth referred to as the Patriarch of Istanbul. By the way, if you think that is a nasty name, don't worry, I have a much more petty name for my own patriarch, but it translates rather poorly into English. So I don't think that this should, surprise anyone, because, of course, that the Greeks are going to listen to their own patriarch, I'm not drawing him, I'm literally doing this for a video, so this could have been literally anything else. This should come as no surprise, and as again I have stated within this regarding this schism, I don't think that it is a good thing to deepen it, to prolong it. I think that it was a very bad move on the side of the ecumenical patriarchate, but whatever. But I would like to focus on something different here. To majority of the churches outside of the ecumenical patriarchate, it is pretty much clear that this is a huge infringement on the territory of the Russian Orthodox Church. However, I don't want to focus on that because that is clear to everyone except the Istanbulian patriarch. What I want to focus on today is something that is really not popular to comment and say out loud in Orthodox circles, but I will say it, even though I know it's a very hated opinion, and that is that the way we govern the Orthodox Church is broken. It is a bad system, and I'll explain why. The way that we have things now, oftentimes I hear that we have a lot of nationalism in the Orthodox Church. For the most part, I don't think this is true. That is, we do have nationalism, but we don't have the extremely problematic kind of seriously considering your own people to be inherently better than anyone else. However, such things do exist, even though it rears its ugly head here or there. I myself was unfriended by this guy who thought that I wasn't Serbian Orthodox enough, or as we would say in Serbian, I'm not enough of a Svetosavac, that is, I don't practice Saint Savahood, which is a sort of typical Serbian flair of Orthodoxy, but if you ask people who support this, they're kind of at loss to actually explain what it means. However, why am I telling you all of this? At least in Serbia, we have a lot of talk about the heavenly Serbia, which, if you take it to understand that it means all the Serbian saints, I guess it's sort of fine. But I guess in popular mind, it means that Serbia, as it is sort of eternalized by our practice of Orthodoxy, which is an absolute nonsense. It's not. This is just our temporary tabernacle here in this wildness, in this valley of tears. That's one. Second, there are some problematic statements in every church. For example, a lot of priests that I know experienced quite one might say problematic pronouncements from Greeks, like us of the Greek race and so on, and nobody bats an eye. And there are similar things like everywhere, and that is a problem because our church is organized on a national level. The official church, we don't call it like the Church of Belgrade. We call it, the Serbian Orthodox Church. We don't call it the Church of, Athens. We call it the Greek Orthodox Church. Only the ancient patriarchates were called by the cities that they're stationed in. And even if you're called by your name, for example, Ecumenical Patriarch, that doesn't make you immune to nationalism, because there's no chance in hell that anytime soon an Ecumenical Patriarch will be a non-Greek, and that's a problem, because, a Serb would rarely like to be governed by a Greek, or a Greek by a Russian, or Russian by a Greek, and so on and so forth. So it's problematic. I don't have much of a solution. I'm just, opening my soul here. But I like what one priest sort of jokingly, seriously said, that he thinks that we should abolish dioceses and parishes, and that it should be a free-for-all and every man for himself, and then you would see just how much everyone will try to convert as many people as possible, because the way things are done now, you get a diocese and you don't get much missionary zeal because it is a diocese. You sort of assume that this land, this territory of yours, is sort of claimed for yourself, and as long as sort of majority people on that land claim that they're Orthodox, even if they don't attend church or do anything, well, you're in the safe zone, you're fine, you won't. However, if it's a free-for-all, then everybody will try to fill up their churches, and then the situation would be much different. This is something that even Catholics have issued with until quite recently, because until actually very recently, every pope was practically an Italian. Practically every pope, and it makes sense, because who's going to, promote that German guy when majority of the cardinals were Italians, because majority of the popes were Italians, but they sort of got through with it. Us Orthodox, I don't know. I think that the whole system itself is broken, even if I don't know how to. I don't have much of a smart solution, because the Ecumenical Patriarch is slowly turning into Orthodox papacy, true and true. As long that's my productivity app. I don't know how to turn off its sound. As long as you, as long as you're on the territory that was given to you, granted by his omnipotence, the Patriarch of Istanbul, you're sort of in the safe zone until he decides to revoke whatever he has given you. And there were even some, pretty bad statements from the Ecumenical Patriarchate. I can't even remember what they were at this moment, but they were pretty bad. This was when the entire crisis was. Myself, personally, I try to stay clear. I don't read news about Ukraine and everything. I think it just causes, more division, more problems. And I'm afraid that, people will start off sort of dealing with the problems by their own, on their own, which is a huge problem by itself. Like, for example, they may start stop attending Greek churches or something out of protest. You know, I don't think that is a good idea. So yeah, Greeks admitting the Ukrainians. Nothing new under the sun. That's it. This is a bit of a fast episode today, because it is a recent thing. I had hoped to give my commentary on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, even though there's not much to, say about it, because, as regards to Christian perspective, but I might think of something soon. Bye.